Hey, 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 everybody. I'm Victor Brooks, and welcome back to the Victor Brooks Show Instagram Indie Fam series, where we focus on the journey of the artist and their journey. Y'all come on in here. You know how we do it. We welcome an artist on and we talk about their journey. We talk about what fuels their passion as an artist. We get to know the artist that we scroll through and we look at their post and see their artistry, you know, and we get to know what fuels their passion as an artist. Hey, Johnny Willis, Chi-Town's finest, ladies and gentlemen, John Willis, 2421. What's happening, my brother? Good to see you, man. Thank you, Steph Bristol, for joining us as well. Steph Bristol. Who else is in here? Gislani, thank you for coming back and seeing us again, Gislani. And everyone who is able to join us live, we thank you for that. Sundays, we know, are our day to just get away. The day to get away, right? It's the day we do what we want to do. So the fact that you take your time live to be able to join us for these few moments and celebrating artistry and the artists, we thank you. And for our bigger audience, our larger audience, are the ones who watch on the feed afterwards, the recorded. Those are where the larger number of viewers. And we thank you for taking your time, for even coming back to the page and knowing where you can see the brand new artist in so many ways, whether they're singers, photographers, what have you. Any view of artistry is what we're celebrating, y'all. And today, ladies and gentlemen, as I always do, I was scrolling through Instagram one day, and I heard this voice that just crystal clear, very strong, booming through, you know, and I scrolled back through and I saw Rhian Bristol, and I'm going to talk to her about that acapella that she did. It was an outside type of a place that she was doing her thing, but I can't wait to get into the conversation. And when we bring the younger artist on, it gives me a sense of pride as an elder artist, you know, to say that, you know, our artistry is in good hands. The art is continuing. The message of artistry is continuing through our younger generation. Mestrolani too, thank you so much for joining us. Jay said, gotta get Julie here for the Chosen Few house picnic. Yes, we're going to talk to Julie about that, man. We definitely want to come to Chi-Town, where house music was born. House music was born in Chi-Town. But for our Brazilian artists, muito obrigado por seu tempo hoje. Muito obrigado, minha família de brasileira. Thank you for always taking your time to come on. So we're going to get this conversation started. I see our guest is here, Rhian Bristol, coming at us live from Los Angeles, California, my second home. As you know, I'm bi-coastal. LA is my home. It's my second home, but it's my home. Grew up in Memphis, which will always be my home in my heart, but LA, California as well. So let me press this here, and let's get into this conversation, you all. Again, everybody, thank you again for joining us and watching and listening. And hopefully your next new favorite. Hello, how are you, ma'am?
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can totally hear you. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. And as I always say, if you see anyone on this list during this time, please give a shout to them, a thank you to them, whatever it is. But we want to thank you for taking your time at 10 o'clock LA time. On a Sunday to come and meet the Positivity Posse and the Indie Fan.
Of course. It's my honor to be here. I'm very excited. I was actually just in Boston all the way over on the other side. So my internal clock is set to like 1 p.m. right now. So it's okay.
Okay. I got you. Well, now let me ask you this. Where are you? Where did your journey begin? Are you originally from LA? What's your backstory?
So I'm originally from San Diego, and that's where I am right the second because I'm with my family for the summer, but I live in LA
Okay.
to go to school. I go to California Institute of the Arts for vocal performance.
All right.
Um, I started in San Diego. I've been singing since I was 2, playing piano since I was 4, and writing music since I was 11. So it's kind of just always been my thing. I'm not sure how it came to be my thing. My mom used to tell me that she used to sing to me when I was still in utero, and like when I was born, she would always have music on. Normally singer-songwriters like Sean Colvin, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. So I always grew up with these really strong female singer-songwriters like surrounding my ear space. So that's kind of what influenced my songwriting today. Um, when I started writing music at 11, it was kind of just like a fluke thing. I was writing
Wow.
with my sister a lot of the
Okay.
time.
Okay.
She's 4 years younger than me, so we were just writing like joke songs, and then I started writing real like
I
music that
got
I
you.
felt good about in middle school.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
all based around personal experiences and things that I had gone through um, throughout my life. So music is very, very important to me, and it's always been like my sense of
You think.
escapism.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so you mentioned, now see, you've dropped so many gems in that first answer right there that I have to get into some of that. So your mom used to sing to you, and I
Yeah.
assume that mom, does she still sing to you at times?
No, and she's not all that musical either.
Okay.
She would Neither one of my parents is musical, but my
All right.
mom was always a huge concert advocate, huge in
Wow.
entertainment, loved music. So she would
That
always
is
take me to concerts. Like I went to my first
outside.
concert at like 7 or something. I went to see the
What
Cheetah
concert was
Girls.
that? What
The
was that?
Cheetah Girls. I went to see the Cheetah
Oh,
Girls.
yes, Cheetah Girls. Okay.
We love the Cheetah Girls. We know and love the Cheetah Girls.
That's all right. But I mean, the fact that mom, and you know, like you mentioned, you were surrounded by music, whether it was mom singing in her mom way to you, you know, that was music and singing. And then you had your parents were, like you mentioned, were playing music around you.
Yes.
Growing up, it sounds familiar to you're giving me flashbacks to my life. And then you mentioned that you started writing at 11 years old. Now, not, I know you mentioned that your sister and you were writing, you know, like you mentioned, maybe jokey, happy songs or what have you. But at 11 years old, you mentioned you started pulling from things in middle school, you started pulling from things in your life
Yeah.
that you put into song. And at that young age of middle school, where did that come from, do you think? Being able to have that artisticness to start expressing what I'm going through in life at that age.
So I always resonated with artists like Taylor Swift and Sean Colvin because they were telling their story and they were telling things that were important to them in a very
Mhm.
beautiful, poetic way. And I started
Okay.
writing poetry really young too. And so
Wow.
um, when it came to music, it was like it was my outlet. Like
Yeah.
in elementary school, I was severely bullied. So music was always the place where I could go and like drown the world out. And I could be
Yeah.
loud, I could be
Yeah.
whatever I wanted to be, and I could be heard.
There you go.
Um, like people are forced to sit there and listen to me, whether they
Mm.
like it or not. I'm
Gotcha.
here saying what
Gotcha.
I need to say. So
Yes.
in middle school, when life really started
Mhm.
picking up and like um, the bullying
Yes.
continued and like I
Yes.
was tapping into some trauma I had with my relatives. I started
Gotcha.
just like
Gotcha.
channeling all of that into music.
Hmm.
And like the first song I wrote is about my grandfather who was not the greatest of men and kind of produced a lot of fear of abandonment in me as a
Okay.
really young child. So that's kind of where I started with that. It's always been very important to me to be authentic and to never sing a song that I don't feel personally
Mm.
connected to,
Mm.
because I feel really emotionally invested in music. And so to
Yeah.
sing something that's like too happy or too sad or too whatever, like not in my wheelhouse, feels like a disservice to me and to
Come
my
on.
listeners.
You know what? Wait a minute. I knew that this journey conversation was going. I'll tell you why I want. It was your vocal presentation. But before I get into that, what you just laid out there, First, can I ask you how old you are? Is that okay?
Yeah, right now I'm 20.
Let me say
Turning
something.
21 in October.
At 20, 21 years old, you, I have so much respect for your honesty.
Thank
I
you.
have so much respect for your realism. You are already at this age tapped into the importance of an artist giving who we are,
Yeah,
giving what we are, what we're about.
yeah,
And it takes so many of us, and no, because it took me a while to give that. I remember the first time, and it was not 21 years old, when it, and at 56, I'm remembering back now to when an artist, you know what we're talking about. I'm sorry, you know, I go back and forth because we're all sitting at the Indie Fam table right now.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you all remember Indie Fam when it hit you at that point, like Sister Rihanna was just saying right now. Ryan, I'm sorry, was just saying right now. You know, when it hit us that, wait a minute, we're exposing ourselves. We're giving our fears, we're giving our hopes, we're giving our dreams. And at that moment, I said, this is what I kept hearing about the artist's vulnerability and the power of it.
Yeah.
Do you draw a sense of power from yours as an artist?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's where a lot of my pride comes from as an
Go
artist.
here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to give that, let me say something. I was going through, and like I said just a few minutes ago, I was scrolling through Instagram, and as I always do, and I heard this booming voice that just came through the Instagram feed, and it was you.
What
And
did you
you,
watch? What did you
I was
see?
watching, it was, you were in like a tunnel or a
Oh, that's right.
walkway or something. It was a hallway or something like that. And I was going through it and I heard the note and I said, oh, came back through and I watched your performance. Where was that? What was that? Give me that
That's
backstory of
so
that.
funny that was like a fluke. So I found this tunnel. I was really sad one day, and I live in
Okay.
Santa Clarita because that's right around where I go to school.
All right.
And I was walking around sad,
Um,
listening to Car Seat Headrest on my headphones. I was just like in my own thing, and I found this tunnel. There's this random tunnel like near my
okay.
house, like 5 minute walk
Yeah.
from my house,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just like I just went ah, and it resonated like
There you go.
crazy. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is everything. Like, I will be singing in here every day.
Gotcha.
And so I'd bring
Gotcha.
like my camera stick and I'd set it up because if you put the phone on the ground, it resonates too close to the ground and it vibrates like crazy. So I had to like elevate it off the ground
Yeah.
and I would just record random things in there. I was trying to
Uh-huh.
like, I'm really nerdy about music. So I was in there like hitting the walls, trying to figure out the resonant
Right.
frequency. Like,
Right.
it was so fun. It resonates at a B flat for all those curious. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah, so I just
it
started
was
putting it there.
powerful. It was like, you know, so tell me, have you always had that powerful vibe of your voice, or you the kind of singer where it's like you sing it, you go back with your mood? But how would you describe your style of vocal?
You know, when I was a kid in elementary school, I was always told that I was too loud.
Okay.
Too loud, I was too energetic, I was too everything. So
Um,
I've always had a really loud, big voice, and I never could find like music that would like fit it. And so I started singing more like indie folk and then metal. Like
okay.
it
Okay.
was those two. So the song that
Gotcha.
I'm singing in the video that you saw is called Trust Fall by a metal band called Spirit Box with a female
Okay.
front. It's a female
Okay.
fronted metal band, which is really hard to find. Like
Uh-huh.
a really good female fronted metal band with a woman who can scream and like hold down like that beautiful melodic thing that she
Hmm.
does.
Hmm.
Um, so where I like started getting all that like power energy was like in high school I would sing like
Gotcha.
Muse and
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age and the
Okay.
Strokes and like
Okay.
that was
Okay.
like
All
that.
right. All right.
That was the thing. It made
Right
me
on.
feel really good to just like scream and like let the sound out because it
Yeah.
was just sitting in my tiny body and I just
Yeah.
needed to like release it.
Gotcha. Well, you definitely, hey, ladies and gentlemen, Indie fam, and I know some of you have sent me emails after the promo went up, and you said, "Yeah, I saw the video in the hallway too," you know, and that was
That's so
what.
funny.
Hey, so, that's what I'm talking about, man. And it's like, let me ask you this too. Um, as I mentioned, I developed this format here, different from my Facebook Live show,
Hmm.
and where they're more the established artists, I guess you could say, the artists who, the what have you, the legends, the names, what have you. But
Absolutely.
this here on Instagram, it's equally important to me because there's a whole world of independent artists that are just as good, just as talented, have something just as important to say with their artistry and something to give the world. And in this way is my way to be able to say, hey, y'all, hey, world, meet your next favorite singer, meet your next favorite photographer, meet you that you may not have heard of before, but now you do. So go download, go follow, go support. If they're here, go buy a ticket, buy those 2 drink minimums and go hear this artist. So in this, but I also on the flip side get emails from the artists that say, you know what, I am independent, but I don't feel I'll ever be good enough because the numbers that I see on the popular people, I'll never reach those numbers. How do you deal with the independent expectations of your career?
That's a really good question. It's really hard. It's very, very difficult. I struggle a lot with imposter syndrome. I only have one song released and I don't like it because it's not good enough. It's not done. Nothing will ever be done. Nothing will ever be good enough because as an artist, you're constantly growing and
Yeah,
constantly developing your
yeah,
skills. So to like to feel like you have to stamp a point in time in your
mhm,
career and be like, hey, this is who I am right now.
yeah,
Enjoy, is
yeah.
really stressful.
Okay.
I'm probably sitting on like 13 songs that are unreleased and recorded, but I'm still producing them on my laptop. Like, okay, that B flat isn't sitting right. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need something else in there. Like,
Mhm,
it needs
mhm,
more. And
mhm.
sometimes you just have to let it go. And I say this, like preaching to the choir, but like I don't do that at all.
Right.
So
Okay.
to answer your question, I don't deal with it.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
but
All right.
I'm working on it. It's
Uh-huh.
something that I've worked really hard on, and to like sit back and look at bigger artists and be like, I will never amount to them. You're not trying to amount to them. You're trying to reach your full capacity. It's not
Come on.
about comparing yourself to other artists. It's
There
about
you go.
reaching your full potential as an
There
artist.
you
But
go.
it's still really difficult to see that if you struggle with imposter syndrome because you always feel like you have to be doing more, be
Mhm.
better, be moving.
Yeah.
Some of that is what drives like the will to make music,
There
and
you
then
go.
sometimes it stifles you. But
Yeah.
it's a balance.
Go ahead. Come on, girl. You are an old soul because it's the realism that comes out of it. But what keeps you keeping on, though, Ryan? What keeps you, moving forward with your passion of artistry? What fuels it for you?
It's just what I love to do. It's the only thing that I love to do. I kind of
Mhm.
came to terms with the fact that I may not be able to be a performer a couple of months ago, and I was like, okay, I don't really care if I become a performer. All I want is music to consistently be a part of my life, no matter
Come on.
what that means.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing to me, and that's kind of what I dealt with when I was applying for colleges
Mhm.
was I was going to be a neuroscience major with a minor in music so that I could pursue music therapy. It doesn't
Okay.
matter where music lands in my life as long as it's the center point of everything that makes me happy.
Yes. Yes. Come on. That's it. What was it now? Neuroscience?
Neuroscience, it's
Come
the brain
on.
science.
Yes, yes. Look at that too. And well, let's get into that for a second now, because music has been equated to a medicinal thing for
Yes,
mind, body, and soul. Would you
correct.
agree with that?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's a cathartic experience listening to music, being around music. Whenever I go to concerts, I kind of just sit back and I like absorb it, and I
Yeah.
always wind up crying at one song or another.
Yep.
It's artists, we're
Yeah.
emotional beings, and we
I
have to
understand.
keep it at the
You
surface
got that's
consistently.
right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. But I believe artistry has the power, which leads me, I ask every guest that comes on, and so I must ask you as well, the power of artistry. does art in itself, whether it's music, in your opinion, whatever it is, photography, any artistic expression, can art really change the world? We hear it all over the place. Is it just a corny phrase, or can it change the world?
I think it's the meaning behind the art that changes it. I don't think it's the necessarily the art. I think it's about intention, and I think it's about emotion and the connection that it creates. Um, like if you put out a song and you don't like it and you're not into it and you're really
Yeah.
passive about it, you're not going to create the same connection that you would if you really felt a type of way about the things that you're producing. So
Mhm.
I think it's about intention versus just the art itself.
Gotcha. Which can lead to the fact that art is powerful enough to go either way.
Yeah,
Art has the power to influence, basically, right?
absolutely,
Gotcha.
absolutely,
Hmm. Hmm.
absolutely. Especially
Hmm.
music, like artists always model themselves after other artists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You always draw influence from your elders, and you always draw
That's right.
influence from the people that you looked up to as a kid. It's a
Uh,
very important piece of being an artist.
that's right. Much respect. Well, can you? I got the emails, and even see when I do the show, I have what I'm looking at to do the talk, and then I have my computer here that's giving me my emails and what have you, right? So I've already had one, two, four who are asking, can she acapella something now? So it's like, well, in their own
That's
way,
so
they're
funny.
asking, would it be putting you on the spot? If
No, you're
not, don't
good.
worry about it. Okay.
So I actually have my guitar right here. Is it cool if I play guitar and it's not necessarily
This
a
is your
cappella?
time. You can play guitar, piano, harmonica, snap your fingers. I want the world to know you. That's what I want.
Okay, cool. Cool. Sounds good.
All right.
It's like I'm in like a closed room with
Okay.
like no resonance, and so a
Okay.
cappella in here is like
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
um
All right. We're with you, though. We're here with you.
this is a song that I wrote most recently. It's um still working on a name,
Okay.
um but I think it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and I wrote it for a class. I wrote a poem a while back about not feeling like I'm moving and feeling stuck.
Okay.
And so this song is about that. I'm thinking about calling it Simple to Me, but we'll see. Too far left or too far right? What does it feel like to be alive? Fearful of the night. I stumble until my words come by, dragging my body down every alley, searching for reasons to try. I can't seem to find anybody who makes me feel like things will be alright. Now I'm trembling in the car ride home, feeling more alone than at home in my body, and I wonder what it's like to be both. Lying on the ground, it all seems so simple to me now. Crystallized in temptation, I wish I had more tears to shed, bathed in words of affirmation, choking on words I've left unsaid. dragging my body down every avenue, waiting to see a reason why. Life is full of peaks and valleys. They make me feel like things will be alright. Now I'm traveling in the car ride home, feeling more alone than at home in my body. And I wonder what it's like to be born. Lying on the ground, it all seems so simple to me. You entered me like a virus. I suffered from the feverish warmth of your frame. It's grown hard for me to see kindness. Now I'm left holding all of the blame. And I'm drowning in the car ride home, feeling more alone than at home in my body. And I wonder what it's like to be born. Lying on the ground, it all seems so simple to me now. It all seems so simple to me now.
I told you, ladies and gentlemen, did I tell you or not? That's what pulled me back down on the scroll. Listen to me. That was incredible.
Thank you so much.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I know we've never met, but at 57, I'd at this moment feel like a proud artistic uncle right now. So it's like, hey, I'm the uncle you've never met, but that gives me these, and my indie fam knows when I get these bumps here, that's like, that went here, and I'm gonna tell you why, because your vocal styling, I'm a AM radio baby. Okay, I'm a Steely Dan, Melissa, you know, and that's my vibe. You have that same realism in your vocal that it is what it is. It's expressive, it's natural, it's real. It gives the song, you've learned at 2021 the art of interpretation. Not just throwing notes out, not just hitting notes at random. You know how to interpret a song. And the fact that you wrote this song, I believe, goes even deeper. Why I see people saying, I'm crying right now. I see people throwing the heart like this. Gislane, muito obrigado, Gislane, de família de brasileira. She says, come to rock in Rio, but we want to rock with you in Rio. Here's Pedro says, please, Mexico. See, this is what we're talking about around the world. Indie fam. I'm going to talk to y'all now. We have our new indie fan member, our sister Rhian Bristol right now, that just gave us what she's given us. Now, I know how we do, y'all. After the shows, the emails start going, the offers to collaborate or what have you. And you know, we always say, you got to go download, you got to go support, you got to follow. If this is what you're feeling now, this is why we continue it, you all. Keep sending me your emails. We want to know who you are. We want you on this screen to hear your artistry like we're learning right now. Y'all, take what our sister gave us today. Write those songs. Don't be afraid. And even if you are afraid, let that fear feed the artistry of the vulnerability of us as artists of who we are. We're in our box. I myself, I know what the bully in school really is about. I was the kid where people were taking tests in school, indie fam. I was looking out of the window saying, how does that tree blow that way and not the tree blowing this way? Because that artist mind is the gift that we've been given. And Rhian Bristol is what it's all about. That's that next generation that I'm talking about. I could go on and on because it's a passion of mine. Rhian, much respect, girl.
Thank you
Much
so, so much.
respect.
Thank you. I really appreciated coming here. I knew I wanted to talk to you when I saw your page. I was like, this looks fun. Like I like this. I like what this has to offer the world. Like this is great.
Oh, that means so much, Ryan. You know, and now tell us, is that song something? Is that a piece we can? No, because you're just working on it. You're finishing it now. Where can we follow? Where can we download? Let your new fam know how to keep in touch, please.
The best place to reach me is on my Instagram, at Ryan Bristol Music. I have a website that you can follow. You can subscribe to new updates. I've got shows all this week, this whole week. If you're in the San Diego area, keep tabs on my page because I've got shows like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, all around.
Awesome.
I have a Spotify, yes. I have one song released on the Spotify. It's called How Deep, and I released it like pre-COVID, like right pre-COVID,
Wow.
February.
Okay.
So I have Spotify, just look up Ryan Bristol, and
Mhm.
I come up. I'm the only ginger named Ryan Bristol, so you should be able to find me.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Instagram's the best place to keep tabs on me. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really loved being here. This was awesome.
You got it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you got it, Ryan. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard it, we've seen it, we've felt it. My mind is, because right now I'm passionate with so many more questions of this journey, but I don't want to take your time. I want to invite you to come back. I want
I'd
you to
love to.
please let us know anything you're doing, any new music. If you already have where your live shows are, please send it for us or so we can repost it and let all of our people in Escondido, San Diego, Oceanside, Vista, all of that down there know where to come
Yep.
and see you, okay?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely. We'll
got it.
definitely be in touch. This has been
You got it.
amazing.
You
Thank
got
you
it.
so, so much.
Thank you, Ryan. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. This is it right here. Pedro, thank you for joining us. Patricia Bolton, thank you. You know you're always here, our OG of the Indie Fam viewers. Thank you for being with us today. Gislani, thank you, Gislani. Thank you. Henry Art Smith, much respect. Brother, I'd love to do an Instagram. Henry Art Smith, ladies and gentlemen, joined me on the Facebook Live. His story of independent artistry on so many levels is incredible, inspiring, passionate, moving, and real. Follow Henry Art Smith 1 here on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Brother, we'd love to come and have an Instagram show here, man. Who else? Everybody that's taking your time. Dobbs, what's happening, my brother? Thank you, Dobbs, one of our previous guests. Dobbs has joined us here. Dobbs, when I know you just logged on, when you have time, man, come and watch this episode of Ryan. Out there in Europe where you are, man, it's, I know, just music, and this is our new family member of the Indie Fam and Positivity Posse. You all, this is, Ryan let us know where to follow, where to download. She specifically mentioned the song Deep. Let's go. Let's support. I know you felt it today just like I did. That positivity. Hey, Hasriki Otford out of India, one of our other previous guests out of India, incredible photographer. Follow Hasriki's page. Please follow his page. Right on, Dobbs. Right on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this could go on. Our Indie Fam is growing and growing around the world. And come on back, y'all. Every Sunday at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. We won't do a 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock today, but we'll be back next Sunday, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Some scheduling difficulties, not difficulties, that's negative. Some scheduling, that we have to tweak for the guests that we were going to schedule at 2. But we'll do that because dealing with the international time frame, we want to get everybody in, all languages, all cultures. Artistry is universal. It's universal. Thank you again to Ryan Bristol. Los Angeles, California, but a San Diego native. I love San Diego and them parlor donuts too. Come on now. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. And like I always say, come on back and get some of this positivity on you. Take a bath in it. Take a shower in it. Skinny dip in it. Scuba dive in it if you want to. Just jump in that pool of positivity. And when you come out, sprinkle it on as many people as you can, because that's what it's all about. And we'll see you next time on the Victor Brooks Show Instagram Indie Fam series right here. Much love.